Clear prop.
We're gonna be giving this 160 away. Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. Today, we got 6-4 whiskey. It's pretty much done. We're gonna see if this thing fires up for the first time in about 2.5 years. This has been a project that has been running in the background because of all of the different projects that we have. It's kind of running. Hey! This was the second airplane I ever bought. Had some issues with it getting it home, but now it's almost brand new. It seems like only yesterday that I bought this Cherokee on a whim from an ad on Facebook Marketplace and flew it all the way home from Indiana. Soon after getting here, we ended up having to tear apart the whole airplane. My newest purchase was going to be my first and biggest lesson into aviation, but that means that we were going to get to tear this thing apart and rebuild it better than new. The weeks turned into months, the months literally turned into years. Paint, bodywork, changing panels out, pulling the tail off, new parts, new pieces to the wings, new screws, even down to pulling the fuel tanks out and resealing them and all new hoses. But it was really coming together, and the more we got to work on it, the more we learned. Even down to the battery box, pulling the battery box out, cleaning it up completely, getting any amount of corrosion off of it. This was how you really rebuild an airplane. And you can't forget the power plant. Brand new overhauled engine, ported and polished cylinders, awesome exhaust. This thing is going to fly really well. This Cherokee is going to probably be the fastest PA28 160 in existence. I just never would have thought we'd be doing it. So 6-4 whiskey, we had some issues with this engine. We got this thing overhauled. We got an electric mag for it. We have a power flow exhaust for it. We also decided to do a whole bunch of new everything like we like to do with all of our rescues. So we're gonna go ahead and get all this stuff installed today. We got all of the hoses here, all brand new. Changed over from the hard lines over to these, those soft lines. Brand new oil cooler, gotta do that with an overhauled engine. Got our Tempest vacuum. We have electric mag. We have a QAA overhauled right mag. We have a remote filter setup, and of course, new baffling. We also went ahead and we completely cleaned these up. These are all painted. Flywheel is all refinished. Obviously the engine looks great. We got some Tempest spark plugs in it. We got a new Tempest fuel pump. Everything's all rebuilt. Everything is all beautiful. Went over all the wiring, new copper tubing. We have brand new copper primer lines going on here. Everything's painted, obviously new carburetor. And the guys over at Columbia Aircraft Engines, they already ran this thing up. I mean, it's got some runtime. I think it's like 2 or 3 hours on it. So this thing is ready to go. And it has been just stuck in a hangar. So I really got to get this thing done. So we're going to dig in, get all this stuff put on. We also have to get the main gears. If you guys know with these Pipers, all these struts, they're problematic anymore. I just like to overhaul them. This front one's completely fresh overhaul. We're going to also overhaul this left one, and we're going to overhaul this right one as well. So they're good to go 100%. 6-4 whiskey, the 160. It's gonna be a really, really nice airplane because if you look at the paint and everything, the paint's good. Now that matches the firewall. This is all brand new. Really, really good stuff. This thing's gonna look like a brand new airplane. Already got the vacuum pump installed. All the fittings are on. They're a little loose yet because I don't know the exact direction, but I think they're about correct. We got it all tightened down, torque sealed, all the gaskets are on, and with these Temp S pumps, gotta make sure that you have the diverter installed correctly. So this one is good to go. All right, so we got all the new engine mounts here. They're all spaced correctly and they're all torqued. The engine mounts on this mount is a little bit different than the newer mounts. This is one of the early Cherokees, so the mount is just different. So a different bolt and a whole different isolation system. So a couple different opinions on this, but at the end, this ends up being kind of like, there's two ideas. There's one, there's a torque, so I did torque it. But the final thing, and the thing that's in the book, is there's a measurement where you measure the squish. So torqued it to what the older book said and then measured the squish and it was right on, so it's perfect. Got the cotter pins in, looks great, all nice and new, space perfect, ready to go. So the next thing we're gonna put on here is this brand new oil cooler. Definitely really important when you have a nice new engine in your airplane. Nice, new, clean, brand new, gonna cool it well, oil cooler. So mounts right here in the front, and we are replacing those ugly old hard lines with some nice, brand new, flexible oil cooler lines, which will go right along here, come back to the block, and look really good. All you have to do with these electronic ignitions, these SureFlies, get a 9-volt battery between here and here. It's gonna light it up and let you know when it's not at top dead center or when it is at top dead center. There you go, lights on.
That's on, and then that's off.
Yep, now
That's
on. Now off.
So that should be it right there. We'll just
Sweet.
we'll double check it once we got the prop on and can spin it. And,
Right, spin it over. So actually,
this is starter on too. You know, the starter makes it easy because it's got the hole.
right, oh yeah.
Just line your timing mark up at that hole.
Yeah, so we'll actually be able to, after so these are all pretty much set. We'll lock them down, loosely lock them down. Mm-hmm. And then once we get the prop on later, we'll double check the timing a second time and it should be good to go. But that was actually pretty easy. It's not too hard.
That bag is easy.
Yeah, I like it.
The worst part about it is running the battery cable back to the back.
Oh, we still gotta do that yet. Well, I still gotta do that yet. So. So just a mental note, if you guys are ever putting a starter and the baffling and all that stuff on an 0320 or an 0360 on a PA28, put the starter on first because everything is buried in here and it will take you forever. you guys remember 00 Whiskey, I had the Power Flow exhaust on it. It worked really, really good. And the reason they work really, really good is because it has an actual merge collector. If you guys know anything about exhaust, a merge collector, you gotta have one. It has to do with signaling and all kinds of other stuff and scavenging with the other exhaust as each and other cylinder fires. You don't get that with the original airplane exhaust. In fact, original airplane exhaust, most of them are the worst I've ever seen. I used to build bunches and bunches of racing exhaust systems for different race engines. I'd custom build them and we would dyno them and tune them. These are terrible. These are great. So every chance I get, I'm putting Power Flow on whatever I can because it is free horsepower and it's also a lot lighter. So we were here putting this Power Flow exhaust up, something I did not know. You do not have enough clearance on this setup for a generator and a Power Flow. The Power Flow hits it. Those generators are huge. So we were looking at it and thought to ourselves, you know, do we put the stock exhaust on because, well, it's paid for and this is paid for and that's paid for, or do we convert it to an alternator? So we decided that we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna convert it to an alternator because, I mean, it should have an alternator on it anyway. Generators are old school. And we don't be happy. Yeah. After, well, and if someone decides they're putting a ton of avionics in here, you're gonna want an alternator for sure. But that's like another $1,500. But we'll have the performance of the tuned exhaust. We'll have an alternator. If someone wants to upgrade this to have some good avionics, they'll be ready to go. But that means a couple more days and waiting for the mailman. How far they're up in there, but I think that's a good start.
Yeah, you might have to pop the tires.
Pull the wheels off, yeah. So we went ahead and jacked up the whole airframe because we have 2 seal kits so we can rebuild. It's not rebuild, is it? Technically, what's it called? It's not overhaul yet either, is because only a repair shop can overhaul. So it'd be reseal. So we're gonna reseal the main gears. The front strut was already done. Pretty much every airplane we get in, those get rebuilt, all 3. It's a good amount of labor, but it's nice. Then they actuate correctly. You're not getting sticking struts either way, and it's just good maintenance practice. So Pete and I were just getting ready to pull the tires off because we're going to reseal the strut, put new O-rings and everything in it. And then we noticed how much shimmy is in this main. Oh my gosh, yeah, so look at that. So those shims, they're all wore out. So we'll order a kit, I think from McFarlane, they have a kit for this. And oh man, that whole thing is just. So good news for whoever's gonna get this PA-28 because at this point it looks like pretty much the whole airplane is gonna be rebuilt and overhauled and good to go. Is that one the same way?
Same thing.
Oh my gosh. Shimming and shaking is not good structurally. Could easily cause one of the links to break or crack. Get them rebuilt. It's a pretty simple process, but it's really important. So on these main struts, you'll notice this area here. These, if they're gonna crack, if you're gonna have issues from someone tightening this up too much, it's going to be right inside here. So you need to clean them up really, really well, get a good light on them, and inspect this right inside here for cracks. It's just a known area. This one's good. So we'll get the rest of this stuff cleaned up. We did get this nice and stripped. We inspected all this. We'll get this all together and then we'll actually paint it up real nice once it's assembled. All right, so it's really great that we have this power flow exhaust system to make more power with our 320. However, one of the issues was, what was the issue, Pete? What was the problem we had?
Generator's not going to fit. We have to upgrade everything.
I think it's called the aviation rabbit hole complex.
We're in it.
So we're in that, basically PA 28s. I think by now they have alternators. This didn't. This was like the OG model, I guess. Yeah, the barn find model. The barn find model comes with a generator. We got a 70 amp alternator for it, plain power. Hartzell Group, great guys. They make a really cool kit. It has everything, even has a light for the alternator that we'll add. It's gonna have all the voltage that you're gonna need, and it's new. It's got new bearings and all that stuff, so there's not gonna be problems. We just couldn't see this beautiful install. I mean, look at these clamps. I mean, this is like, we're gonna call this like Pete clamp magic here. Everything is tied up perfectly. I mean, look at these. All brand new hardware. Everything's all cleaned, all new wiring, hoses. This is the way you do stuff. All brand new. So we're gonna get that installed. Meanwhile, I'm gonna keep working on this because we found more problems with the landing gear. Yeah, so just like that, plain power Hartzell alternator, the whole kit, bolts right on. A little bit of trimming. It's beautiful. We got 70 amps. Throw whatever avionics in there, whatever LED lighting, you're gonna be good to go. This thing is now upgraded. So really, all we have to do now is get all the stuff from PowerFlow to do the final installation on this thing, and then turn the key. So hopefully it starts. So I don't even know. So this is, it's been really in depth. We've done so much work. As we have time, we'll jump in here and there. You know, Pete and Greg and some of the other MPs we work with have worked on it as they've had some time too. But man, this old 6.4 whiskey's got some nice paint on it, and it's gonna have some power. I mean, this thing's gonna climb. This is gonna be a really good performer. This is like a special plane. I feel like we should do something special with it.
Well, it's special.
It is special. It's especially like growing roots in here. So we got to get it flying. Yeah, so we're going to dive right in. We're going to get all this exhaust and this whole area. I mean, the PowerFlow exhaust, great guys. They helped us out. They got us all of the rest of the parts that we needed. There was a couple parts missing. That was a used system we got. They hooked us up with the STC and all the different things needed to put it over on this airplane. A great performance upgrade. If you guys have an airplane, you want some more performance, get a PowerFlow. It really does work. So we're gonna get all this stuff on. All of this stuff is gonna fit down underneath there. And after that, we're gonna put some fuel in it. We can push this sucker outside and get it fired up.
Sounds like a plan.
That'll be good. Let's get at it. All right, we have all the scat tubing on. It is mostly secured. We have a couple different hose clamps we got to put on, and then we also have some clamps and just different stuff that'll keep this like set in the right place so it's not flopping around. But as you guys can see, this engine area, when you use one of these PowerFlow exhaust systems, it gets pretty busy, but it's worth it. Like any of the horsepower you can get, freeing up that horsepower with that exhaust, always a good thing. So now this thing is filthy. It has 2.5 years of dirt on it. So we got to pull it over here and get it washed up.
Wonder if it's gonna get some useful load back after we wash
I know, yeah, it's got like 5 pounds of dust and dirt and hanger crap. Oh, and we definitely don't want to forget to put oil in it. I actually can't believe this thing's gonna get to start.
Can't believe it's getting a bath.
So this is actually the first airplane that I ever landed without any help. I had a instructor with me when I flew it back, but he let me land it completely by myself, but he didn't realize I never landed an airplane by myself before until after we landed.
All right, Joe, you feel like polishing and buffing this one?
I don't think it needs it.
I don't think it does either. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
How was this thing when you found it?
It was in annual, but the guy didn't fly it much over the course of like 15 years or so.
Is it hangared?
In what looked like a chicken coop. So
Maybe a little bit similar to the Comanche out in New York situation.
exactly like that, yeah. And it had it had to be like 5 pounds of bird nests in the one wing
We love that.
when we got it back.
I remember you pulling out garbage bags in it.
Yeah.
Did I? What did I miss? Oh, get out of here.
All right.
Just dump it till it starts overflowing.
Oil ferry came and dropped those off.
Yep.
So the number one thing on a fresh engine, put fresh oil in it. Make sure you don't forget that it doesn't have oil in it. Hey, Joe.
That's your problem right there.
That's a problem right there. Ain't got no oil in it.
How many does this one take?
Oh,
This is 7 or
8.
8?
She's thirsty.
Got a
8,
fresh.
and she'll push one back out.
Well, it's got a fresh filter in it, so.
Yeah. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug. Glug, 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 glug.
All right, there's 8 quarts. Let's get this thing outside, get some fuel in it, get it fired up. All right.
First time I seen this thing outside, all cleaned up.
That looks good. You can grab a fire extinguisher?
You do read the comments.
Well, we always have a fire extinguisher, but sometimes you just can't see it.
Hey, I don't think we had one up there. We would have had to ask the airport.
Shut up, Joe. There's one under the seat of the Comanche.
Thank you. Have a nice one.
Before we fire this up under load, we're going to pull all the plugs out and we're going to prime the system with the plugs out so there's no pressure on the crank and all that stuff. All these oil lines, these are all brand new, and the oil cooler, so they're empty. So we just want to make sure we have oil flowing and we have pressure ready to go, not under load. We'll pop the plugs back in and we'll see if we can get this thing fired up. So nice having everything all brand new in here. No dirt. You can work on the engine without getting dirty.
Nothing's stuck.
Yeah, that'll last for maybe like 500 hours.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everything will be dirty in here.
Somebody's going to forget this in their hangar. It'll get full of birds' nests, and then we'll be back to pick it up again.
No. Once it goes, it's gone. Maybe in 20 years.
Yeah.
Can you share?
Yeah.
Please.
Sharing is caring.
Please.
Out of habit, I almost just asked you how the plugs looked.
Well, actually, so
They look really good.
They did run this engine at the overhaul shop. It's one of the things that they do. One of the reasons we like using, Columbia aircraft engines is because, they have a dyno, so they'll run this engine in. It's almost, pretty broken in at that point too.
I think they let it go for like several hours, right?
Yeah.
No, an hour.
Yeah, several 1 hours.
Several 1 hours.
Yeah.
Hours better than nothing.
Yeah, just to get heat in it, get the rings set in, make sure there's no issues with it. Now that we have it installed in the airplane, though, we have to do the same thing. But one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to keep cycling an engine that's brand new in an airplane constantly because you can glaze the cylinders. Not a good thing. Then you got to take it apart. You got to do all kinds of stuff. It's not a good thing. So we just want to fire this thing up, get a tiny little bit of heat in it, check all the connections, and make sure there's no leaks and there's no issues. After that, we pull it back in, and then we have to do all the work to get it completely airworthy. There's a couple things that need going over yet for that, and then we can fly it again for the first time. And once you fly it, you want to fly it at good power, at least I think 75%, and for like 2 or 3 hours straight, get those rings set in and get everything just working well.
Kind of like a break-in period for it.
Absolutely. As long as everything does what it's supposed to do, I should be able to hit these switches. So what we're looking for is some oil pressure here. This has a nice handy dandy starter button. Everybody clear?
Yep.
Ish.
Kind of.
Is this gauge hooked up? I'm gonna crack the return oil line just to make sure it doesn't have air in there. You know what I mean?
Bleed it a little.
Yep.
A lot of maneuverability in there, huh?
Oh, yeah. A 30-second up a turn.
Yeah.
All right, everybody clear the prop here. Ready?
Yep. Got oil.
All right, I'm just going to turn over a little bit.
Do we want to let it open, or should I?
I think close
It should vent through the case.
I think close it. Yeah. Good. Are you clear?
Yep.
Clear.
There it is. Got pressure. All right, so we got good oil pressure, so that's good to go. All right, I'm gonna check all the fuel stuff. Technical term, fuel stuff.
Fuel stuff?
Yeah. We're off, so I'm gonna turn on the left tank. All right, master's on. I'm gonna turn the fuel pump on.
Sounds pretty healthy.
There we go. She's got pressure. Let's look for fuel pressure on the unit here. There we go. So we got fuel pressure on the gauge, so we are primed. Let's give it a little fuel. Joe, I'm going to check the primers because we replaced all those primer lines. We give it a couple shots in the primer. You see anything?
Yeah, all looks pretty good. Everything's dry on the mechanical pump, dry on the electric pump, dry on the primers.
So we got oil pressure, we got fuel pressure. The voltage looks really good. We were able to prime it. We did find one loose fitting, got that fitting tight. So now we can go out, we can get the plugs back in, get the leads on, and I think she's ready to fire up. All right.
She does look pretty darn good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
All the new hoses, tubes, fittings, oil filter.
Don't worry, we don't need fire extinguishers. We just blow it out.
Yeah. Jason on the Austin Healey.
All right, so everything looks good here. We don't see any leaks. There was a couple little things we checked over. We definitely have oil pressure. We definitely have fuel pressure. So really at this point, it should fire up. All right, so master's on. Our rotating beacon's on. We're on both, so both mags are hot. Everybody's clear. All right, so gonna give it a tiny little bit of throttle. Mixture rich, master on. Ready?
Ready?
Clear prop. Hey! I think that's about the best idle I've ever heard. All right, so we got fuel pressure. It's not charging, but we don't have this hooked up yet. It's got oil pressure. Yeah, everything's going good. I mean, that's like a perfect freaking idle. It's good. Thing runs perfect. All right, everything seems good. Mag's off, master's off.
Anything sticking out in there? Took a second, but she started running pretty darn smooth.
Yeah, it just took a little bit to smooth out.
I guess it's kind of expected for, it's like pretty much first start. And
A little bit of air still in the lines.
Yeah.
Lines and stuff. All right, guys, so we have a huge announcement. I know all you guys think I'm absolutely crazy,
Jason's insane.
but we're going to be giving this Cherokee, this 160 away. We're going to have more announcements on it. We do got to get it flying and airworthy. There's some annual stuff that needs done. So if you guys don't have your notifications on and you think you might want to win an airplane, then
Oh, you're not giving it to me?
No, you can't have it. You can't have it. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I thought you'd listen to the comments. The
Yeah.
viewers spoke that
I
you
should
should give me an airplane.
give him an airplane. You can have the Starlight, but you have to fly it. So make sure you guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications on. If you haven't checked out our Facebook, our Instagram, like all that stuff, make sure you do and make sure you're following us, or you might miss a chance to win this airplane. It's going to be epic. Guys, thank you so much for coming along on all of our ventures. We really appreciate you.